You learned about Rome. Every history class teaches Rome, the conquests, the engineering, the empire that lasted centuries. But here's what they didn't tell you. Between 2,600 and 2,000 years ago, there were Indian empires that were twice the size of Rome. Some had more cities, some had more advanced infrastructure, some controlled more trade routes, and yet, they vanished from history. This empire covered 1.26 million square miles. More people than Rome, more cities, more advanced. So why does nobody talk about it? Today, we're counting down 7 Indian empires that were absolutely massive, bigger, richer, and more advanced than Rome, and then disappeared. Not conquered, not forgotten by archaeology, but erased from the Western history narrative. Starting at number 7, the Kalinga Empire. You probably haven't heard of it, which is exactly the problem. Between 400 BC and 260 BC, Kalinga controlled the eastern coast of India. Not as large as others on this list, but historically pivotal. Kalinga's claim to fame? The Kalinga War. In 260 BC, Emperor Ashoka invaded Kalinga. The death toll? Estimates range from 100,000 to 500,000 people. One battle, the most bloody conflict in the ancient world. This single war was so devastating that Ashoka renounced violence forever, converted to Buddhism, and became history's most famous reformed conqueror. One empire, one battle, changed world history. Yet Kalinga is a footnote. Number 6, the Saka Dynasty. While Rome dominated the Mediterranean, the Saka Empire dominated Central Asia and Northwest India. For almost 500 years, from 80 BC to 400 AD, they were the bridge between East and West. The Saka controlled the Silk Road. Every piece of silk, every spice, every piece of jade that moved between China and Rome probably passed through Saka territory. They got rich, incredibly rich. Roman historians died to know about the Saka. They called them Scythians. But here's the gap. Rome documented the Saka in their own records. Yet Western history classes never mention them. Why? Because they weren't in the Mediterranean. Out of sight, out of the narrative. Number 5, the Chola Dynasty. This is where it gets wild. The Chola weren't just an empire, they were a naval superpower. Between 300 BC and 1200 AD, the Chola Dynasty controlled the southern Indian peninsula and had the largest navy in the ancient world. They had military bases in Southeast Asia. They conquered Sri Lanka, Java, and Sumatra. They had trade posts in Egypt and Africa. Here's the kicker. Ancient Tamil poets documented Chola achievements in stunning detail. We have primary source literature about their navy, their conquests, their wealth. But Western history books? Silent. Because Chola naval power didn't threaten Europe. Irrelevant to the Western narrative. The Chola dynasty lasted 1,000 years. Rome lasted roughly 500, depending how you count it. The Chola's navy was 4 times bigger, and yet Rome gets a 10-part HBO series. Number 4, the Gupta Empire. And this one matters for literally everything. The Gupta dynasty from 320 AD to 550 AD is considered the golden age of Indian civilization. While Rome was collapsing in Western Europe, the Gupta Empire was experiencing a cultural renaissance. The decimal system? Invented during the Gupta era. The concept of zero? Gupta mathematicians. Advances in astronomy, medicine, metallurgy, literature, all Gupta. The University of Nalanda, built and expanded during Gupta rule, it educated 10,000 students at its peak. But here's the painful truth. When we teach history, we skip from Roman Empire falls straight to European Middle Ages. We don't mention that while Europe was in darkness, India was experiencing the most advanced civilization on Earth. Number 3, the Mauryan Empire under Ashoka. This is the moment when the Indian subcontinent came closest to total unification. Under Emperor Ashoka, from 268 to 232 BC, the Mauryan Empire controlled roughly 2 million square kilometers. That's 4 times the size of Rome at its peak. Population estimate? 50 million people. Rome's population at the same era, maybe 70 million, but spread across a much larger, more fragmented territory. The Mauryan military? 600,000 soldiers plus 30,000 war elephants. Rome's military was roughly similar in size, but spread across 3 continents. Ashoka's was concentrated, unified, devastating. But then something happened that no other empire did. After seeing the devastation of the Kalinga War, Ashoka renounced violence. He converted to Buddhism, he built hospitals, universities, and sent missionaries across Asia to spread Buddhism. He was history's first truly pacifist conqueror. Ashoka spread Buddhism across Asia, to Sri Lanka, to Central Asia, eventually to China and beyond. The impact? Buddhism shaped billions of lives. One empire, one emperor's choice, changed the entire spiritual landscape of Asia. So why isn't Ashoka taught in Western schools as a transformative historical figure? Why don't we compare him to Alexander the Great? Why is his empire a footnote when Rome gets 50 history books? Number 2, the Indus Valley Civilization. And this one, we can barely read its language. Between 3300 BC and 1300 BC, a civilization rose in the Indus Valley that was remarkably advanced. We're talking about 1,500 plus cities and towns, arranged in perfect grids with planned drainage systems, standardized weights and measures, sophisticated urban planning that wouldn't be matched in Europe for thousands of years. Mohenjo-Daro had a population of maybe 40,000 people, making it one of the largest cities in the world at that time. London didn't reach that size until 1800s. Rome didn't reach that size until 100 AD. Yet the Indus Valley had it in 2500 BC. But here's the mystery. Around 1300 BC, the Indus Valley Civilization collapsed completely. We don't know why. Drought, invasion, natural disaster? The evidence is ambiguous. What we do know: this civilization vanished and their script remains undeciphered. The Indus Valley Civilization lasted 2,000 years. That's longer than Rome lasted as an empire. It covered an area 4 times larger than Rome's peak territory. It had some of the world's earliest cities with advanced planning. And yet, we teach Rome, not the Indus Valley. And finally, number 1, the Mughal Empire. This is the one that lasted the longest and conquered more territory than any other Indian empire. The Mughal Empire, from 1526 to 1857, controlled the Indian subcontinent for over 300 years. At its peak, it covered roughly 4 million square kilometers. That's almost the size of the entire European continent. The Mughal population, over 150 million people. The Mughal economy. In the 1600s, India accounted for roughly 23% of global GDP. India, a single empire, generated almost a quarter of all wealth on Earth. Rome's peak GDP contribution, maybe 15 to 18%. The Mughals were richer, more productive, more economically dominant. Mughal architecture? The Taj Mahal, the Red Fort, masterpieces of engineering and beauty that tourists still visit by the millions. Mughal universities, centers of learning in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, philosophy. Mughal court, patronized poets, historians, scientists. But when we teach world history, what do we emphasize about the Mughals? Invasion, conquest, military dominance. We rarely discuss their contributions to science, art, mathematics, and culture. We rarely compare their economic power to European empires of the same era. So we've covered 7 Indian empires: Kalinga, Saka, Chola, Gupta, Ashoka's Maurya, the Indus Valley Civilization, and the Mughals. All bigger than Rome, all more advanced in various ways, all economically dominant in their eras. The question isn't whether these empires were impressive. They objectively were. The question is, why does history class teach Rome, but not these? Why does Western civilization courses focus on European empires, but relegate Indian empires to a footnote? The answer: it's not a conspiracy. It's something simpler and sadder. Geography, language barriers, colonial history. Western education systems were built by Western scholars studying Western sources. Indian history wasn't ignored deliberately. It was forgotten by proximity. The information is out there. It's not hidden. It's not secret. It's just not in your high school history textbook. Because textbooks are written based on what was taught before. It's a cycle. And the cycle is breaking. The next time someone asks you about the greatest empires of history, you have 7 to add to the conversation. Empires that shaped continents, that lasted centuries, that invented mathematics and medicine and philosophy. Empires that deserve the same historical attention as Rome. If you want more untold history like this, stories of civilizations that shaped the world but got left out of the narrative, subscribe. We cover geography, engineering, economics, and the hidden systems of global history.